I know what you're thinking, Robbie, there's no way you're 28. I know, I shock myself sometimes too. I very frequently forget how old I am. My life now is so different from the life that I was living when I was 18, and I'm so grateful for my 18-year-old self because everything that she went through made me into the woman that I am today. And I do believe that if you're an 18-year-old watching this, you do have to make mistakes and you do have to learn things for yourself. Sometimes that is the only way that you will learn a lesson from a situation. However, in this video, we're gonna go over 20 life hacks, pieces of life advice in hopes that I save you just a little bit of time, maybe some money, maybe a little bit of pain, maybe some heartbreak, something. Because I do believe that sometimes struggle is necessary, but your life does not have to be a series of struggle after struggle after struggle. So without further ado, let's get into the video. If you only listen to one piece of advice throughout this video, I need it to be this one. So if you're sitting there scrolling because I am not scratching your dopamine receptors enough for you, I need you to pay attention. I need to come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Closer still. Do not ever change for anyone. I don't care. I don't care what the scenario is. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if they're the most spectacular partner that you've ever had in your whole entire life. If you have to change for them, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, if you have to change your being, your essence, your energy for somebody else to feel comfortable, for somebody else to like you, then that person should not be in your life, point blank, period. You are beautiful and unique and you are special just as you are. And if somebody doesn't like that, it is not your job to mold into something that they may like. If they don't like you, they can kick rocks. They're not meant for you. You're not meant for them. I say this with a lot of passion because I've done it so many times. So many times I've changed who I am in order to fit in order for somebody to like me. And the only thing it does, sure, maybe it makes you happy in that split second. Maybe you fit into the group for that split second. Maybe you have this partner for that split second. But once that inevitably ends, because it will end, you don't fit in there, the only thing that you are going to be left with is a shell of who you once were, because you took on all of these personalities, this persona that isn't actually you. So now you're sitting here alone and you're like, wait a minute, who actually am I? I don't know. I've just turned myself into this other person for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, however long. Now you have to spend all of this time reconnecting with who you are and what you like and what you want. And that is not an easy process. It takes a long time to find out what your authentic self is, who your authentic self is. So to take even the smallest amount of time and stray from who you actually are is so damaging to you. So like I said, if you take one piece of advice from this whole video, if you're like, all right, heard, I'm gonna go back to scrolling, just please never change for anyone, please. It is never worth it. You're wicked cool, just as you are. Now that we have the most important one out of the way, I'm gonna rifle through the rest of them. Pour into yourself first, fill your own cup first. I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but I'm also sure that you don't do it. I can almost guarantee you that you still give to everybody else and then leave yourself empty at the end of the day. It is not selfish to prioritize yourself and your needs and to make sure that you are good first. Track your progress, whether it's financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever it is that you're trying to improve in. It's important that you have that before and after so you can compare and see that you actually have made changes. If I didn't take pictures when I first started my fitness journey, I would probably still be looking at myself in the mirror and be like, I haven't made any progress whatsoever, which is not true. But because a lot of us in our fitness journeys have like the slightest bit of body dysmorphia because we're always trying to be better, we're always trying to change our body just a little bit, it's very easy to look in the mirror and be like, oh, I still have to work on this thing. It's very easy to look at your bank account and be like, well, it's not at 20,000, so I'm not pleased with it. Maybe your bank account is at 10,000 and a year ago it was in the negatives. Make sure you track your progress so that you can be proud of how far you've come from where you once were. Even if you're not where you want to be yet, it's very possible that you may never get to where you want to be because you keep moving the finish line. So you will never feel proud of yourself. And that's no fun. So figure out what the before is, track your progress, and give yourself props for reaching small goals too. Small goals matter.
Love booties matter!
You don't just have to reach that giant, massive goal. you are still making progress. Sometimes the simple fixes do actually work. A lot of your day-to-day problems are so fleeting and really can just be solved by calling a friend, going outside, touching some grass, going to work out, getting a good night's sleep, or just stepping away from the thing that's pissing you off. If you are absolutely crashing out, before you decide that everything's effed and your life is a disaster, try one of those things. Also realize that it's probably gonna pass. These emotions are so fleeting, they only last within our bodies for 90 seconds. If they stick with you for longer than 90 seconds, you are consciously choosing to keep that emotion with you. When you get that road rage, when your boss calls you and pisses you off, when you read the condescending email, the emotion that you feel from all of those things only really lasts for up to 90 seconds. After that, the reason that you're still feeling that anger, that frustration, whatever it is that you're feeling, is because you texted your friend and you said, my boss sucks. And now you're sitting there and you're waiting for a response from your friend to validate how you're feeling. You're still feeling that thing because you are attaching yourself to that emotion. And then your friend texts you back and you relive that emotion all over again because you're consciously choosing to keep that emotion with you. Touch some grass, go to bed. Wake up the next morning and you're probably gonna forget that any of it even happened. Unplug regularly, it is such a game changer. However you do it, leave your phone at home for a walk, put it in another room when you get home, or have a full-on tech-free day. Just do it. You will feel like there's a weight lifted off of your shoulders. You'll feel this massive reset in your dopamine receptors. It is so worth it, even if you just do it for a couple hours. Learn how to say no. This was and still is the hardest for me. Anytime I have to tell somebody no, I want to explode. I never want to hurt anybody's feelings or let anybody down, and I'll say yes to things even when everything in me is like, please don't say yes to that. I don't want to do that. But I've always felt guilty putting myself first, and I'm sure that you can relate. It is okay to say no to people. It's actually so important to say no to people, and it is okay to put yourself and your priorities and what you want to do first, because it's your life. Why would you spend it doing shit for other people that you don't actually want to partake in whatsoever? The person that you are today is molded by the people that you surround yourself with, the content that you consume, the habits that you keep, and the food that you eat. If you are not happy with your life in the current moment, it's up to you to change it. Manifestation does work, but it will never happen for you if you do not change your negative internal dialogue and get on the same vibration as the thing that you are trying to call in. You cannot manifest $1 million if subconsciously you believe that it is impossible for you to receive $1 million. Also, unfortunately, you do have to actively work to receive your manifestation. I know it's tragic. I also don't want to have to do any kind of work, but we do. We do, and we're gonna love it, and it's gonna be great. Do not check your phone first thing in the morning. It is literally the worst thing that you can possibly do. I've talked about this so many times before. When you first wake up, your brain is still in theta. If you all of a sudden go from theta into your regular brainwaves, your beta brainwaves, oh, chaos! Chaos, your dopamine receptors are fucked up, your nervous system is all out of whack, you're immediately inundated by blue light. It is not good. Have some kind of morning routine. It can literally be anything as long as it's not check my phone the second I wake up. Open your eyes, smile, say an affirmation, drink a cup of water, maybe incorporate a little bit of movement, start your coffee, maybe read a little bit of a book. Doesn't have to be this crazy morning routine where you go and you stand outside for 20 minutes and then you cold plunge and then you do red light therapy. It doesn't have to be an expensive morning routine. It can be so chill as long as you don't check your phone first thing in the morning and you give yourself some time to regulate when you first wake up. Please, 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 I swear it will change the course of the entire day. Own your morning, elevate your life. You already know what book that is from. Best book in the world. Finding balance in your life is nearly impossible, and I watched a speech from Shonda Rhimes the other day, the creator of so many shows, but the only one that can come to mind right now is Grey's Anatomy. But she is exquisite, she's amazing. She was a keynote speaker at some university, I don't know, to be honest with you, I saw it on TikTok. But she said that whenever you see me succeeding in one area of my life, that almost certainly means that I'm failing in another area. And she was talking about being a single mother and how when she puts her work first, her family suffers a little bit. We never want our families to have to suffer, but there will be times when you have to prioritize this thing over this thing. Maybe you have to prioritize family over work, and your family is thriving, but your work is suffering. It is so hard to find balance in life, and I think it's so important that we realize that life comes in chapters. Some chapters, we just really have to focus over here. Some chapters, we really have to focus over here. That's just life. There's only so much of you to go around. There's only so much time in the day. Do your best, be the best you that you can be, and try to prioritize your time as well as possible. Use the 2-minute rule for productivity. If the task takes less than 2 minutes, just get it done. Your future self, like yourself 5 hours from now, will thank you so much. There is no reason that you're just letting that dish sit in the sink. It'll literally take you 2 minutes to wash it. You get to cross that off of your to-do list, whether it's mentally or physically, and you get that little tiny hit of dopamine because you did something. Yay! Good job! Your reward center is so pleased. Just do it. Just get it done. You don't always have to see things through. If you don't like a person, a job, a hobby, you don't have to see it through to completion. You don't have to marry that person. That is the beauty of free will. If you don't like something, stop doing it. Stop giving your energy to it. Stop wasting your time on it or with it. I know a lot of us feel really guilty stopping early with something, but if it's just not working, why would you continue doing it? There's no shame in stopping. There's no shame in quitting something if it's not aligning with you. There's no shame in breaking up with somebody if you guys aren't vibing. It doesn't make you a better person if you stick it through to the end. It actually will probably make you miserable. Other people don't know you. I don't care how close you guys are. I don't care if you're family. I don't care if you're friends. Only you truly know yourself. Only you know what you're capable of. Only you know what you truly want. Only you know who you truly are. And only you know how you are going to create the life that you have always dreamt of for yourself. Nobody else knows you. So yes, you can tell them what you're doing, what you want to do, what your dreams are, but there is a very high chance that they are going to project their own insecurities or doubts onto you, and that in turn is going to make you feel like you are incapable, even though they have no idea what you're capable of because they are not you. You are you, and only you know you. Right now, you are living your life based on what other people think is possible for your life. You are living your life for these other people. You are living your life not doing the things that you want to do because you told Nancy that you wanted to start a YouTube channel and she said, I don't even understand how you can make money off of that. It seems so saturated. What would you even talk about? Do you think that people would actually watch? And now you're all in your head and you're like, well, I wanted to start this YouTube channel, but Nancy said that she doesn't even think people would watch, which actually isn't what she said at all, right? You just kind of twisted it so that it would make it so that you didn't feel so bad to not start that YouTube channel. That sentence kind of fell off for just a second, but you're picking up what I'm putting down. You wanted to hear what you wanted to hear. You wanted Nancy to validate your idea so that you would feel a little bit more comfortable starting the YouTube channel because you're scared. Maybe you fear judgment, failure, maybe you fear success, maybe you feel like an imposter, and you really wanted Nancy to say, go off and start that YouTube channel, it's gonna be amazing. But Nancy can't see herself starting that YouTube channel, so what do you think she's gonna say to you? She's gonna be confused, and then all of her confusion and doubts are gonna get into your head. And now here you are, 30 years down the line, still thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but never gonna do it. Nobody knows you other than you. So if you want something, make it happen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've had to learn this lesson a couple too many times, but don't make somebody show you twice who they really are. If they show you their true colors, believe them the first time. You can't change them. No. I love a good challenge to change somebody. I loved a good challenge to change somebody. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. They have to actively be willing to change themselves. And if they're full-grown adults, the chances of them changing, very slim. Very slim. Not impossible, but very slim. But you are not going to be the catalyst for that change, because when they show you their true colors and who they really are, you're gonna say, okay, got you. I'm out. I'll see you. Thank you so much for this time. I see your disrespect, whatever it is. God bless, good luck. I'm not interested in being subject to this. Some people just do not deserve your kindness or your respect. And as hard as that is to accept, it is necessary that you accept it for your own well-being. Not all relationships are meant to last forever. Romantic, platonic, some people just come into your life, have no purpose, leave you with no lesson, and they dip. It's okay. You don't have to overanalyze it. You don't have to wonder why they left, what you were supposed to learn from them. Sometimes they're just here and then they're gone. And you know the drill. If they left your life, they weren't meant to be in your life. If they are okay with not having you in their life, then as hard as it is, you need to be okay with not having them in your life. You deserve better. If you want something, just ask for it. The worst that somebody can say is no, and the best case scenario is you get the thing. I know it's kind of like rejection therapy, but just test it out somewhere in the smallest little setting. Whatever it is, maybe you're at Barnes & Noble and you have 3 books and you say, hey, could I get 10% off? They're probably gonna say no, but maybe they say yes. Maybe you're at your gate at the airport and you go up to the gate agent and you say, hey, can I get an upgrade, please? They might say no, but if you ask nicely enough and you look desperate enough, maybe they'll say yes. You never know. You never know. Maybe you're getting somebody on a good day and whatever you ask them, they'll say yes to. It doesn't hurt to try. If somebody shows you any kind of hate, doubt, negativity, they're either jealous or they're insecure. Depending on how close you are to this person, you can either have a conversation with them, maybe see where they're coming from and maybe come to a resolution. Or if they're just some rando on the internet or an acquaintance that you have, cut them off. Cut them off. You do not need any of that bullshit in your life. That's low vibrational energy and that's not what we're striving for here. Most of the people whose opinions you are concerned about are either A, not giving you a second thought, or B, never to be seen again. You're never gonna see these people again. So in the famous words of Alexis Rose, people aren't thinking about you the way that you're thinking about you. You are your own main character, as you should be. For other people, they are their own main character, as they should be. So when you think that all of these people are just staring at me, the world revolves around me, oh my god, everybody cares so much about what I do. No, they don't. I promise you, they actually don't give a shit. And I will tell you how I know this, because I'm a little bit vain. I think everybody should be a little bit vain. So when I get myself all done up and I go out to eat, I go to the bars, whatever, I want to be looked at. I want people to see me walking down the street. I want people to see how hot I am. And yes, people do see that, but not as many as I want. And I am trying, actively trying to call attention to myself. Nobody really cares. So on the contrary, when you're doing something that you don't want anybody to see, I promise you, they really don't care. If they're not looking at me, hot, walking down the street, they are not looking at you when you're not even trying to call attention to yourself. People are not thinking about you the way that you are thinking about you. Nobody cares, David. Nobody cares. Do not allow shiny object syndrome to ruin your life. It is so easy to get distracted, especially in our digital world, and to shift our focus to the new exciting opportunity, career, car, person, house, whatever it is. 99.9% of the time, you do not need the next big thing, the shinier object, the bigger house, the nicer car. What you need is to get the fuck off the internet. What you need is to be present in your life, and I promise you, you will realize that you have it pretty good. And if by chance you are present in your life and you realize, hey, I want to make some changes, then what you need to do is double down on the things that you are already doing. Unless you want to make a career shift, unless you want to start a YouTube channel, unless you want to start a podcast, unless you want to do something else, you double down on what you're already doing. And if you're like, hey, I've had this dream of starting a YouTube channel for years, okay, you triple down on the YouTube channel. Last but not least, and this is going to be kind of specific niche advice, but if you are 18 to, I would say 23, and you are thinking about getting a tattoo, please, A, let it be your decision. Do not listen to a significant other, a friend, a family member. Let it be your decision, fully 100% your decision. Most of the tattoos that I got when I was 18 were very much so influenced by my boyfriend. It was not his fault. I actively went and got the tattoos, but he had these kinds of tattoos and I was like, that looks sick on you. I'm gonna get a bunch. And now I'm getting them removed. And so probably not the best decision. So to save you hopefully a lot of money. And pain, laser hurts a lot. If you are 18 and you are dying to get a tattoo, you want to get something matching with your best friend, okay, fine, whatever. Get something small, get something where maybe you can't see it, get something black and gray, get something black and gray. Do not go in for colors immediately. There is a high chance that later on in your life you will regret getting colors. But just please let it be your decision and something that you want and something that you have thought about and not something that you just go in and pick off the wall. And I think that that is all I have for you. And this video was actually really long, so I'm gonna make this outro as quick as possible. I thank you guys so much for bearing with me during this transitional phase in my life. As you can see, I actually have things in my apartment now, so that's very exciting. I'm slowly getting back into my routines, thank the Lord, so I'm feeling a lot more centered, a lot more ready to make videos for you guys, and just so much more settled. So I'm stoked to be back. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You know the drill. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I love responding to the comments. Please subscribe if you like me. Please like me. And I will talk to you guys very soon.